Well, look who's back.
Well, guess who's back?
Guess who's back?
The man.
The
Mr.
man
Man.
himself. The man himself. You know what I want?
Well,
It's interesting. I meant to message you, and during the time that you were away, and say, what do you think of the new thumbnail? I guess for the show. Do you like it better? Or?
I think it's still pretty good. I don't know if I have a preference yet.
No.
No.
Should I
but
continue? Should I take the camera right out of there? Because
No.
I don't know if people have noticed, but on the actual camera, you can actually see through the lens. Did you know that?
No, I did not. So I've not zoomed in on it.
Really?
No,
Like right
I
here, like right under where it says lens up top. See up here where it says THR.
Oh yeah,
That's
see.
where it
Yeah.
actually says through the lens right there on the actual camera. So I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that in when I post the upcoming streams, and it's great. It's great. I love it. I won't say who did it. I won't say who did that. Yeah, for various reasons. Let me just get into what happened there? Oh, there we go. So we have we were talking about you, Mister, earlier before we came on live. Good
Yes,
things,
we
good
were.
things. Good things. And here's Anthony,
How you
who
doing,
we've
buddy?
had on the show, and there's Sean from Enlightened Souls Paranormal. And there, where were you, Lex? Yes. Everybody has to sing.
Celebrating my 30th birthday.
Can you believe this guy's only 30?
I know.
My God.
So celebrating that, and then I was working for a long time,
Yeah.
quite hard.
So I was just thinking about that. So when you're 54, good Lord, I'm gonna be close to death. So I'll actually be able to come and haunt you.
Yep.
And you can talk to me through the futuristic SB7 that will probably be, something else. It'll be called something else.
It probably will be, yeah.
Yeah. I never thought about that. That's actually kind of scary. Hey, look who's in the room. I haven't seen this chap in a room. This chap in a long time in the room.
This chap.
Yeah, this chap. Daniel.
Hey,
nice
Daniel.
seeing you, buddy. From Portal to the Paranormal. Great guy. We're gonna hopefully see you in September this year. Myself and Lex again, if you're interested. I don't know. You might want to see me, not necessarily Lex. But...
Who doesn't want to see me?
Oh, we got a great show today. We have Jason Graham. And before I came on, I kind of said something about his group name, which is awfully long. Very long. SouthWest-ParaAbnormal is his group name. Say that 5 times, people.
Yeah.
Say it really quickly. Yeah, say that 5 times. He probably did it on purpose just to stand out, I think that makes you stand out, don't you think? When you see that name, you go, wonder what that means.
It would make me click on a video. Right. I think I've sent you the thingy-majiggy. Just double check your drive. You got it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Today we don't do this very often, but in the middle of the show, we are going to have a commercial. And if you haven't seen it yet, Lex has a promo out for his season 2. And the thumbnail is incredible because it has me in it.
I know. So I had 2 thumbnails for it. I had that one, and then the other one I had like the group photo with us all with the tea in the 40s tea room.
Oh no, that would have been good to do.
No, and I couldn't edit it properly to get it like looking good on that background. I figured the one with you and me in the attic of that house is a good one to have as the thumbnail.
Here's our
how you doing, Ayla?
Big supporter, Ayla.
Hey, Nando. Hey, Nikki.
And there's Nikki. That's supposed to be having a show coming on Parapost soon. Right, Nikki? There's Nando. We had a great show on Friday. That was a lot of fun. On Friday. And it was good to have Rootless Destination up and talking about why they signed up and who they are, which is great because we're having Rootless Destinations on that next week's show.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Next week's show. And then the week after, we have another guest, you know.
I know a lot of guests, Brian. Which one is it this time?
GSI is coming up.
Say again?
GSI is coming.
Ah, good. Haven't spoken to them for a little while.
Get into I think it's their 4th or 3rd season on Paraflix. And they're going to be sending us a bunch of clips, and we're going to play those clips during the show. And I think we're going to be in the 4th season.
Yeah, I think we are, yeah, which is going to be really
because
cool.
there's a picture, there's a few pictures up on not Facebook, Instagram of us and the on some of the investigations. So you got to go over and check out Instagram, Thingamabob, whatchamacallit, that one thing. Yeah, definitely.
We're going to be everywhere on this year.
Yeah. I'm not sure who this is, but it's a person from Parapost Network Central. Speaking of that, you saw the launch of Parapost Network or Parapost International?
No, I've never even heard of this.
Parapost International started this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, you know what, Lex? Really? Focus. Be present.
I was away.
Yeah, Parapost International started this week, and it was launched on Wednesday. And what we're going to be doing, if you have not seen it, these are going to be teams that are international, not necessarily North American. There are some North American on it, but it's mainly going to be international groups.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So, and a team had just signed up to be on Parapost Parapost International. I got to get the name straight. I think they're from Mexico.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's growing. It's doing nicely. We've been live since Wednesday, and we're already at 400 and something on the page. Wow. So we got some new shows coming up. Dakota and Chris are going to be on that page as well. 1, because Chris is in Scotland, and 2, because Chris has a show with Drew. I know her name's not Drew, but I just call her Drew. Adriana. They have a show that I was on this past Wednesday. So they're going to do their show because they're international. They're out in Scotland. So this page is mainly for people that are international people outside of North America. So, and I spoke to John yesterday from GSI.
Yeah.
And they might start doing some of their live investigations on the page. So when they're out filming for Paraflix, they might do a 30 to 40 minute live while they're out doing their locations. Yeah, it's definitely true. Definitely true.
Wow.
So there we go. Here we go. We're going to start out with Raymond. Hey,
I wish.
Oh, here we go,
buddy.
I don't think I've seen it. Thanks for the invite, guys. Came back to check you at the show. Oh, well, thank you, Luke. That was awfully nice of you. So, so Parapost International, if you have not seen it yet, we got some new shows coming out. I think they're coming up this week. So it's going to be a good channel, I think. And for international people that are trying to hit the North American scene, and they're not getting out there as much as they want to. And that's what Parapost does, right?
It does indeed.
It brings everyone together, or at least I try to bring everyone together. Every so often there's a bad apple.
Yeah, same as every society.
What's that?
Same as everywhere. Yeah, there's always a bad one.
But I will mention Kel Ridley that took your spot a few weeks ago, did an incredible job. And if you have not seen it, people, she has a new show out. Lex, I've missed you, buddy. There you go.
Missed you too, Raymond.
So they got it. Her and Mike have a new show out. You definitely want to check it out. It's on Thursdays, every other Thursday as I've been told. I thought it was every Thursday, but it's every other Thursday. So I want to thank her again for filling in. That was great. And of course, she didn't say very much.
Neither do I. So she filled the spot perfectly.
I think I did most of the talking. So we're going to do, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, so we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a commercial during our show because we want to show a couple of promos. And so that's a perfect time. Or we can just do it right before Fakers, before I do the Fakers.
Entirely up to you, Bryan.
I know it is. I know it is. So, yeah, thanks, Cal, for sure. So why don't we bring up Jason? Now, Jason Graham is somebody I met through somebody else that we won't talk about. We're not allowed to mention his name anywhere. Some people know what I'm talking about. We're not allowed to mention his name, right, Jason? Give a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up, Jason, if we're right. Anyways, I met Jason through this person, and that's how we got to know each other. And when I started the Global Ghost Hunt, obviously at the beginning I couldn't because of a particular person, but when that person was gone, I decided I wanted to reach out to Jason and ask him to be on the Global Ghost Hunt because I respect this guy. He's a good person. I've gotten to know him over the last several months, and I like what he does. So it's about time we have him on the show. So everyone, here is Jason Graham for this tongue twister name, SouthWest-ParaAbnormal. There we go.
Hey, and that's all the time we have, folks. Have a good night.
Yeah, but you're going to say something else too. Remember we talked about this?
I was under the impression that I was supposed to have a Big Mac and fries waiting for me. Who dropped the ball on that one?
Raymond.
I don't know about that.
Oh, God. Well, thank you very much for coming up today. I appreciate that. And I know you're busy. And, the biggest problem with, and we've come to realize it as well as the admin staff at Global, when there's a big time difference or a fairly decent time difference, it's hard to get everybody together at once. For example, you're 3 hours behind me. Lex is 5 hours ahead of me. Peta's 12 hours ahead of me. So it's really, really hard to get everybody in one place
It is.
For a meeting for the Global Ghost Hunt. But we do manage it. And I think even Marcus is an hour behind me. He's in Minnesota, right? So he's an hour behind me. So when it came to deciding who was going to be on the Global Ghost Hunt staff, that definitely wasn't a smart decision by me, for sure. So
add it to the list, man. Add it to the
list. So yeah. So, but it's been a lot of fun so far, but it's also been a lot of work. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this before we brought you on, Jason, that Jason used to be in merchandise, and now Jason is part of haunted locations. Yeah, so it's that only happened, I think, within the last week. So,
yeah, I think it was last Monday.
Yeah, so Raymond's doing extremely well, but I thought Raymond needed a little more help because even this past week, we've had 3 locations sign up. Don't have teams yet, or one of them does have a team, but because they just got a team, I think, yesterday. But 3 teams or 3 locations signed up. And which is weird because at the beginning, I thought it was going to be a little more tougher to get the locations, but it's being the complete opposite, of what I thought. And I didn't think that the haunted locations would be signing up because there are a lot of haunted locations signing up, which is, hey, listen, that's great.
Yeah, no, it gets some exposure. It's awesome.
Yeah. And the one that signed up recently this past week, I was showing the guys the picture of the place, and they go, "Holy crap! Would love to investigate there for sure." But hey, You can't investigate everywhere as much as we'd like to. You just can't. So, anyways, again, I want to say thank you for coming on today's show. I really, really appreciate it. So, Lex, you want to start, or you want me to start?
Well, I'll start with the very simple question. Not the Southwest bit. I think that bit is pretty self-explanatory. Explain why you still called it paraabnormal.
Well, so when I first started this, one of the guys I worked with, he just couldn't grasp how I would do it. And, you know, being paranormal, he's like, it's anything but normal. It's kind of abnormal. So it just kind of stuck.
Oh, okay. It works.
Pretty easy explanation, really.
That's what I always said. You know, it's funny. It's nothing glorious. It just happened. I say the exact same thing when it comes to huntophobia, because people ask me, how'd you come up with huntophobia? Unfortunately, there's nothing glorious to it, but you know,
I was playing Scrabble and it popped up on my tile.
I mean, well, it's pretty simple how it came up. I just, you know, we're all hunting for ghosts in some way or another, but you know, some people are more science than anything. But then I also put phobia because there's a lot of people out there that are afraid of spirits. And that's how it came, hunt. And the hunt phobia didn't sound right. That's why I put the A in the middle.
There you go.
It's more creative than my name.
Yeah, a lot more creative than Lex's. You know, Lex went all out on his name. And Lex Paranormal, which you know what, believe it or not, Lex, like if you were to name it anything else, I don't think it would work.
Probably not. Like, I mean, Lex bearing in mind that's just my name. That's what I call myself. My show is completely different. It's called Capture the Unknown. Yeah, but I was like, well, let's just give myself an actual name, so people can call me by this name. And I thought Paranormal was a good last name.
It is. It is a good name. Well, so you should change your last name legally.
Can you imagine the mail I get? Especially if I become like a lord, if I buy a piece of land, but Lord Lex Paranormal.
Oh, so now you're becoming wait a minute. So now you're becoming a lord?
If I buy land, which I can do.
Ah, okay. Is that how it works?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you got to buy
to be a lord in England. I'm going to England, man. This is crap.
It's literally easy. You can sign up to mainly in Scotland. I can buy a piece of land in Scotland today, and I will be able to sign up to and put my details in and be commissioned to use the title of Lord.
Dude, here, you buy land, you just owe more taxes.
See, we do it better.
Well, no, you know what we're called out in North America for buying land? You know what we're called?
What?
Stupid,
yeah.
Yeah, but Lord sounds better than stupid, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, it does. A little
bit. Yeah. We're just called dumb. You could buy it online.
Yep.
There you go. You can buy it online.
Call yourself a lord.
Hey, listen.
I'll tell you a fun story. I'll tell you how good naming is. My dad, he used to sign up for a reality TV show that was over here, The Big Brother, when it was first out. And he wanted to have a gimmick. So he became a minister, legally became a minister, just so he can call himself Reverend on his paperwork. And now he still does it. Yeah. Years ago, I was probably 12, I think. And yeah, he came home and he was like, look at the letters. Look what it says on the letters. And it was like Reverend Anderson and stuff like that. And I was like, that's really quite funny. So he doesn't do anything with it anymore, but yeah, just fun little thing.
So do you want to, that wasn't your first question, though.
It wasn't. I'm gonna do the real question this time.
Okay.
And it feels like a long time since I've actually asked this question, to be honest, for 3 weeks. Yeah. Jason, you are, how long have you been doing this, first of all?
I've been doing it since about 2007.
2007, so a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
What got you interested into the paranormal? Was there something that happened to you when you were younger?
Yeah.
Something you witnessed? And what, if you can share that story, that'd be great.
Well, I've never lived in a house that hasn't been haunted. I seem to be followed by stuff wherever I go. But my earliest recollection of it, actually my 4th birthday, my parents never made me and my brother go to school on our birthdays, so one of them would stay home with us. And so my
that was enigmatic. That is textbook enigmatic.
that was awesome.
That's the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for coming, Jason. We appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for coming, Jason. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a stupid question. I'm out of here.
Wasn't me, I swear.
Storms rolling through, and it's just knocking everything out. So,
okay. Yeah, I'll let you know when
what's that?
I was going to say, just let you know, when I reshare this after the show on Twitter, that's what I'm going to put. I'm going to put Jason storms out of interview.
That was awesome.
It's all about the timing, right? No, my 4th birthday, I'm staying home. My dad stayed home with me. He didn't believe in that stuff, paranormal or anything like that, but we're in the family room. He's building a model rocket, and I've got one of those little Fisher Price phones. It's got the string on it. You pull it, and the eyes go and the thing rang. And I mean, it's 1970. I'm not going to say long time ago. The phone rang, and I answered it, and the guy on the other side told me that he was the phone guy, and I should not be afraid of him. And of course, I was terrified. But so my dad takes the phone from me. I asked who I'm talking to, blah, blah, blah. And again, he didn't believe in that stuff. He grabs the phone from me, asks who's there. And he went kind of pale and took the phone out into the garage and beat the crap out of it with a hammer. And
that'll do it.
So, yeah, and then after that, there's just things happening. It happened in that house all the time. I would get knives thrown at me, scissors, all kinds of stuff like that. Ends up, the house was haunted by some old lady, and she hated kids, and she hated messy, and, well, I was perfect storm, I guess.
Wow.
Did you ever speak to your dad about that phone call?
Yeah, I asked him about it a couple of times, and he would just immediately change the subject like it didn't happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's big time denial. I mean, he lived in a haunted house and still didn't believe in it. We'd come home, like I'd get home from school about the same time he'd get home from work, and like all the dishes would be missing from the kitchen. And he'd take a shower, get back out, and all the dishes are back, Yeah, it's
just didn't see him. I say this quite a lot, actually. There's a lot of skeptical people that you could literally punch them in the face with evidence and they'll deny it anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's how my dad is.
Yeah, all the time. So what was it that got you into the investigating side of it, to go out there and actually go looking for this stuff?
When I first moved out here, because I came down from Alaska, which big heat difference. I'm in Arizona now, desert. I needed something to do that was inside because, oh my God, the outside killed me. And a couple of people had mentioned that they owned a club out in Maricopa, the town I was living in, and they thought it had paranormal activity in it. And like, well, let me come in and take a look at it. And lo and behold, got evidence the first time, and I just kind of got hooked on it.
I love that phrase, because every time we ask it, that's the word that gets told. They get hooked on that first line, that first bit. And I was like, it just goes to show how exhilarating and drug-like this industry can be.
It is. I mean, you can go hours and hours and hours with nothing, and then get one little hit, and you're sprung.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is an addiction when it comes to the paranormal, and people. I think most people in the paranormal investigation world are addicted to this, and when you get your first piece of, when you get your first piece of evidence, that's when you really, really get hooked. And and I think it's amazing. So you've done quite a few investigations yourself. So what has been one of your latest investigations, or an investigation might be coming up?
Last one I did was last month, beginning of last month, end of November. I can't remember. me and Adam, my teammate, we went down to ghost town of Gleason, spent the night down there in the freezing. Amazing place, highly active. It's right outside of Tombstone.
Cool. Yeah, every time I think about Arizona, I think of Tombstone for sure.
Yeah, that's the next investigation is actually Tombstone. Actually falls during Global Ghost Hunt's first weekend in May. They're holding City of Tombstone's allowing us to do first ever Paracon there. It's a city-backed event, which is the first time they've done anything like that too. And they actually just inked me into Shefflin Hall out there, which is the original opera house for the place. Never been investigated before, so that ought to be a blast.
Yeah, I think we were talking about for people to know that are going to be watching the Global Ghost Hunt during those 10 days. Me and Jason have talked about it briefly, but we might even put it live, the Paracon that weekend, to fill in spots. So, and you're going to go around and talk to people and stuff like that. So we might do that for Global Ghost Hunt first weekend. Me and Jason have spoken about it. I think he was going to be speaking to the people at the event, and I think it'd be a really, really good idea. To bring awareness to, particularly this event. I don't know how well the event does, but are they expecting a lot of people?
Oh, it's Tombstone. You know, it's probably the second largest draw in the state next to the Grand Canyon. Typical weekend out there. That weekend in May usually has 2,000 to 5,000 tourists that come through it. Yeah. So you add an event into it, an event within an event. Really, it's because it's the whole city that's throwing this Paracon. It's not like when you go to a Paracon, you get one location out of it. You've got the entire city: Birdcage, Big Nose Kate's, Crystal Palace, Wyatt Earp's, Boot Hill Cemetery, Second Cemetery, Shefflin Hall. I mean, you've got literally the whole city to investigate. So we're looking at probably 5,000 to 10,000 people through the weekend that are going to come out. And then the city next to it, Sierra Vista, that same weekend is actually having a UFO conference. So, I mean, we're probably going to see a lot of cross travel.
Excellent. That sounds great. So why don't you tell us, oh, sorry, Lex, this is your question.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to take my apologies. I was taking this question. My God, you should be running the show. Really, you haven't been here in 3 weeks.
Well, I'm the quiet type.
Good thing you do a podcast, and that's
I know it's weird, isn't it? The dynamic works. It's
what the hell? You're not going to
sit here and shut up.
I'm not as bad as Lurker, so that's all right.
Well, the name says it all.
Okay, Lurker. Lurker is quite quiet, but so generally, and we were talking before you came on live that we like to ask this question, but I'm going to flip that question and then turn it into what I was telling you earlier. When you see a piece of equipment out in the field and you go, oh my God, like what a piece of crap that is, or whatever your opinion is. What are your thoughts on that? What is it out in the field that you see that you go, you just shake your head?
Dude, first off, I hate SLS cameras. Absolutely hate them. Absolutely hate them. Do I have one? Yes, of course I have one. But the damn thing will map a human fucking figure on anything. They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what? I have to be honest. I'm on the...
I've said what I need to say.
Yeah. Oh God. That's Arizona is a great place to live, but this is the only downside.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I was saying Arizona is a great place to live. The only downside, the internet is terrible in Arizona. Like, honestly, it is. Like, I know other people in Arizona, and their internet is horrible.
Never had a problem with it till today. No, we don't get bad weather. It's Arizona, and it's raining and crappy out. So it's
okay. Here you go. There's one everybody loves. Here you go. Here's a question.
Both.
I'd say both.
Well, it's both. Yeah, I mean, they're integrated.
You know what? I'm careful with that because of the fact that Todd Sylvia, who makes SLS cameras, and we've had him and his wife on the show, Marissa, and you know he's. I'd have to use his to see, but he's adamant on saying that his works, and which is fine, but he's on the side of us saying that, you know, a lot of people out in the paranormal world don't use it properly. And really that piece of equipment is supposed to be stationary. You're not supposed to be moving it around. And a lot of people will walk around everywhere with it. And I think that's when you're going to catch, you know, it might be a chair that's going to end up look like a stick figure, you know. And I've seen, you know, people point it towards a poster, and the stick figure came out because there was a person in the poster. Yeah, you know. So really, my whole thing is, if you're going to be using it, put it. This is my suggestion. Put it in an area where there's nothing around and keep it there. Yeah. Like if it's against a wall or something like that and the wall is blank, there's no there. If you catch something, there's no denying that then, you know, but I think the problem is a lot of people use it wrong. Like I can't tell you how many videos I've watched, and there's a popular one out there, and I can't recall their name now, but they're very, very popular, and they got some like 2 or 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and they use it all the time, but they're walking around with it. And
everything's a stick figure.
Everything's a bloody stick figure, for God's sakes. And you know, and I love it. I love it when this is what I love the most. And I'm sure you guys are going to agree with me on this. When somebody's using an SLS, they will point it at something. They will see that stick figure, and then they say, "It's always waving. It's always waving at me." Look, it's waving at me. Yeah, or it's playing the piano right now. Or, you know, it's funny. It's funny when you watch those videos. And you know what? When I've watched some of those videos and they have it going, right there and then, to me, it's just strictly entertainment. It's nothing paranormal for me. And, you know, because you and me both know the person that's not into the paranormal, like a lot of their subscribers probably are, they see that stick figure, they're automatically going to assume that it's a spirit, knowing what we know and what paranormal investigators know. No, it's not, you know, but they play it off as it is. And, you know, and that's what troubles me. And that's what pisses me off, because really at the end of the day, they should be telling their fans or their subscribers, no, that was the chair.
But you also get into other really easy things to do with SLS cameras, like Lee from Really Haunted, who just masks the previous one of him making the figures. Yeah. And then just overlays the stick figures onto his new video.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And this is what Raymond is saying right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the problem with SLS cameras, there's probably a minuscule amount of evidence on them, because someone might have caught something, maybe. Yeah. The problem with it's a device that its whole purpose is to map out a person. Yeah. And then we're somehow shocked and worried that somehow it's mapped out a person. That's its job. It's taking everything in front of it and making a person out of it as much as it can. It's not like SLS camera. It's not the smartest of technology. You know,
I wouldn't agree with that, because I wouldn't agree with that when it comes to I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that, because the real reason to be using it is to play really video games,
to map out a person, so you can play the video game with it. So its sole job is to find people.
Yeah, and it
uses light. So when you have
a
shadow,
that too, but
it does it. You know, it's rubbish technology.
I think this is what really bothers me the most about all of it is when all these people are watching the video and all of a sudden they found something that's a stick figure, and we really know what it is. It's probably the table, the chair, or the couch.
Yeah. Or the light reflecting on the wall behind the
or the light or whatever it is. They all of a sudden the fans that are watching going, oh my god, it caught something. And then what do you think they're doing next? They're sharing it out.
Yep.
You should go see this video because they
caught the amazing.
It's like that's when it really, really pisses me off.
They don't share them out with it. They don't share them to me anymore, Brian.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why.
Because I go nuts in the comments section.
It's just it pisses me off because you see all these comments going, we shared it. We can't believe you caught a spirit on your piece of equipment. Oh my God, I'm gonna bring so many people to watch this. And and it's like the guys that I made the video going, yeah, we just faked another video and fans are falling for it. Yeah. And it really, really bothers me the most. And you know what? Something bothered me this week, and I'll get it, and we'll get back to you, Jason, with the question. But something that bothered me this week, I saw somebody that me and Lex know quite well, and I'm not going to mention any names, okay? Who's doing a Randonautica.
Oh my Lord.
Like I was looking at it and I know the person quite well. And, we've had that person on this show. And when I saw that, I went, you're falling down the black rabbit hole. Oof. You really are. And I was actually considering asking this person to come back on the show. And, yourself. Lex, what's that?
Explain yourself.
Yeah. So, I would, that would be my first question. Explain yourself, please. So, but the Randonautica thing really, really kills me. And I'm tired of seeing the Randonautica stupid thing. So stupid.
Mark, just for Mark, there are all SLS captures fake. There could be a potential real one in there. The problem is every little thing sets it off, and it's not hard to manipulate the light in the room to make it work. It's just something that it's so unreliable that I would never use it. It's why I discount it completely.
The thing is with them is you can actually focus that camera on you for just a second and then turn it, and it's still going to map you, and you can point that thing in any direction for the next minute and a half, and it's still going to have you mapped out.
Yep.
They're terrible. The technology
the evidence on them for me is in the same category as an orb. I don't count them.
Yeah, well, there's some orbs that you can see and you're like, okay, that's definitely a ball of light, but when it's this big and floating around in front of the lens,
too many issues with it. That's why.
Yeah.
I just don't count them.
Yeah, it can't be anything that's presented, that's for sure.
Yeah, I saw a few videos this week when I had a little bit of time to watch some videos, and this one video that I watched, it's like orbs all over the place, and they were being attacked by orbs, and I was going, and all I did was this. That's all I did, and I turned off the video.
I was at this place with the old team, he who shall not be named, and he kept most of the team, but there's this one lady on the team, and it just cracks me up because I warned him when we first got there. I'm like, this is an old place, it's full of dust. It's an old ranch out in Tucson. It's Arizona. There's dust everywhere. And we set up our CCTV, and I'm like, look at all this dust. And she's like, I don't know about the dust, but look at all these orbs. And there's just thousands of them. I'm like, yeah. Look at those orbs. Spirits abound.
That's a pretty well quick turn off when I see that. Oh my God, that's all the orbs.
She's seen some funny stuff.
Just reminded me of, was it the number one fam? The one that does Omar's videos with him. And he's like, no way. Oh my God. What the hell? To everything he
Who's
sees.
That? What's his name?
The fam.
Oh, yeah. He's
obviously I'm a big fan.
You know what? They should come over to Global Ghost Hunt and watch the video of Barry Fitzgerald talking about orbs on the Global Ghost Hunt website.
Yeah.
You know, put that in perspective. And, you know, maybe we'll stop focusing on orbs so much, because I would have to say 98% of people that's saying are seeing orbs that they're not orbs.
It's just
at
dust,
all.
pollen,
Yeah,
bugs.
it could be a lot of different things. It could be, you know, I had this one woman message me, and she had a camera going, and she lives here in Canada. She's a friend of mine, and I wasn't putting her down or anything like that. So she sent me this video, and she goes, "Look what I'm seeing in my room right now." And I go, no. And I told her that, you know, she goes, "Well, why are they moving like that?" And I said, "Well, if they're dust particles, why are they moving like this in a kind of a circle?" I go, "Well, that's because your vents in your floor are circulating air in your room.
What?
That's
Airflow
why it's
controls
spinning like
dust?
that." Yeah. So, you know,
Crazy.
she goes, "Oh," she went, "Oh, okay." So it was almost like she was disappointed.
Yeah. Well, no, if you don't follow the stuff like we do,
So,
I mean, it is
but it
disappointing
was
when you
funny.
find out facts are not facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Another thing,
sometimes I feel quite bad, because there was
Lex, feel bad? What?
I wouldn't. Oh,
I'm
maybe
getting
not.
my phone and I'm going to write this in the
yeah,
note.
yeah, where's my calendar? Mark this down.
Yeah, the guy that comes on here and shits on someone every week feels bad. I feel bad sometimes, because there are young investigators that message me on, like, send me stuff on Twitter, and they'll be like new in the game, and they'll have a camera up in their living room, and they're just leaving it there for hours, and they'll send me this thing, and because it's orbs. And I don't lie to anybody. I don't sugarcoat who I am to anybody, as you all know if you watch the show. So I tell them in a polite way. I was like, "Look, you're sending me things that could be orbs. It's not evidence to me. Like, if it's evidence for you, that's fine. To me, it means your house is either dusty, you got loads of bugs, or whatever. There's just stuff like that. It doesn't mean anything to me. But if you want to use it as evidence, use it as evidence. I just won't accept it as evidence. And I feel bad, because I don't want to disheart people who are coming to me about it. So hopefully I get my message across the nice way. But yeah, again, orbs are just, there's too many variables. You can make a really good orb video with a car windshield and rain.
There you go.
If you didn't know that.
There you go.
You can also do it to make apparitions. A lot of the I debunked a video the other day. Someone went to Gettysburg and sent me a video, and they're filming inside their car while it's raining. And they look like, now I've seen quite a few videos for Gettysburg, which I'm really interested to go there. But you can quite clearly see that they're filming the inside of the rain on the windshield.
Yeah, there's one famous, there's one quite famous video out there right now at Gettysburg. I think it's been around for a couple of years and it was actually on the TV show Caught on Camera, Paranormal Caught on Camera. And I was just talking about Gettysburg. There's a really popular video out there, and it was on Paranormal Caught on Camera. And it's two guys driving down the road in Gettysburg, and what looks like to be an apparition coming out from around the wall, and it's clear through. You can see right through it. It's really, really cool. It's really, really super cool. And if you didn't know any better, you would think that was real. But it wasn't real. It's actually been labeled as fake. These guys actually, whatever they did in their editing or whatever, made it look like an actual spirit or an actual soldier coming out from around a wall. It was actually really, really cool. I think it's a wall, or it might be one of those what do you call those cannon guns?
Oh, I know the video. It's a cannon, yeah.
So it's actually been dubbed as fake. So, but doesn't surprise me when it comes to Paranormal Caught on Camera, because most of their videos on there are fake. So yeah, there was one guy from Canada that was on there, and he had dog acting weird, and there was in his office, a garbage can was moved, and you can actually tell somebody was pulling that can.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and here's another one that's very popular on TikTok right now, and somebody actually pinned it up on Facebook during the week. There's a mother and child in their room, and the mother and a chair moves in one video, and then in another video, something happens, and then all of a sudden they're trying to run away, and all of a sudden her sweater is pulled. Her sweater is pulled, but you can actually tell the way the sweater is. It looked like there was a string attached to the sweater.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now,
it's just great that they just happen to be filming during this too.
Exactly. And was it you that said that? Because somebody actually said that in the comments, saying it's funny that they happen to be filming during these times that it was happening. So
there's absolutely nothing else going on. They're just sitting there watching TV.
Oh my God, so stupid. But that unfortunately that video went viral.
Yeah.
You know, and now that it went viral, people are out there going, "Oh my God, look, she's got something in her place," and she doesn't. It's fake. And this is where it really pisses me off that people do this stuff and it's faked. And that's how if we continue encouraging this kind of behavior out of people that are not into the paranormal and they're out there faking videos, we're never, ever going to get rid of them. We're never, ever going to get rid of them. They're always going to be there. And we're always going to have that, what do you call it? Tug of war of real paranormal investigators compared to fake ones.
Yep. Well, and the sad thing is with technology now, it's so much easier to fake it. So
yeah,
I mean, you can do it on your phone in minutes.
For sure. So going back to the piece of equipment, I asked you that, what's one piece of equipment out there that, you just laugh about. So what is a piece of equipment in your bag that you always grab that you're definitely going to use on every investigation?
Man, one I can't go without is my Tascam recorder and my headphones. Man, okay. I'm a sucker for EVPs.
Who isn't?
You sound a lot like Jenny from Emerald Isle Paranormal. She loves audio, and now Kel wanted me to ask you this question. She said,
"We're going to do that some other time." That's
is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing?
No.
What is?
No, it's just an inside joke.
Okay.
We were watching something. I don't know, and it was a thing on cryptids, and Sheep Squatch popped up. She just gives me crap about it every time she can.
Yeah. So what we're going to do right now, folks, and I just want to let you know, Lex, I got your video, but unfortunately it won't upload in StreamYard.
I was going to say, try the other one. I've just resent it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you let me see if I can upload. You sent it through the lens?
Yeah, I emailed it again, but this time through the lens.
Yeah, so ask the
I'm not going to do the next question. What I will do is I want to say, have you seen the video of the woman who's apparently being filmed on CCTV, who walks through a corridor, goes into a room, which the camera can't see into, and then she walks out and her hair gets pulled back into the room? Have you seen that video?
Yes, yeah.
So no, I watched it yesterday while I was at work on a break to try to show someone how easy it is to debunk things. First of all, it's really funny CCTV footage because the camera moves like forwards, not like a zoom. It moves forward.
Yeah,
doesn't look into the room. At all. Yeah, but it goes forward, right? So that's the first one. The second one is when you watch her come out of the room, she turns a little bit to her right as she comes out, and you can already see her hair's being pulled up like it's on a string ready. You can see it as she's walking. And I was like, well, clearly she's had it tied on, walked into the room so someone can hold it. And then as they're holding it as she's walking out, so the tether is already moving the hair. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like when I watched it, I was like, you can see, it's the first thing I saw. It's there. You can see it. The string.
You have to send me that link so I can watch it.
I'll dig it out for you. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. So you know what we're going to do, folks, right now? We are going to take a break because we want to show some videos of Jason, and you're going to be able to see Lex's new promo video for his second season on YouTube. The thumbnail, if you have not seen it yet, the thumbnail's fantastic because I'm in it. And
other than that, it's garbage.
It's fine.
I'll be honest, I've put you in the thumbnail for clicks. Guess who's appearing in my second season, guys? Even better. I'm gonna put every video out and edit Bryan out of them for the whole season. I'm like, it's just in the thumbnail.
It's not going to be much of a video then. It's not going to be much of a video.
No, it'd just be the walk around bits.
We got it. We definitely have to sit down and talk about what we're going to do when it comes to the bloopers videos, because there were a lot of funny moments, especially when I fell at the mausoleum and it was caught on camera.
The mausoleum's not season 2 either for me. I'm cutting that in season 3, so it's not in these next videos.
So we're going to take a couple of minute break. We got some videos to show you, so we will be right back.
I'm Jason Graham. I am the founder of SouthWest-ParaAbnormal and merchandise team lead for Global Ghost Hunt. What does Global Ghost Hunt mean to me? Well, it's a great way to meet new people, new teams from around the world, great way to learn new techniques, which we can all use that. It's an amazing way to help preserve history from your region, places that people might not even know existed. That's amazing. It's also a great way to get exposure for your team. Thousands of people are going to be watching the store live streams. It's just an amazing opportunity, so why wouldn't you sign up? You can sign up today on the website, Global Ghost Hunt. Hope to see you there. Happy hunting.
As soon as you walk into this tunnel, you get that instant vibe that something is going on. They say if you walk into the tunnel and you put a match or a lighter, I think it's a match, you put to the wall, you will hear a scream. You start hearing some voices, you start hearing footsteps.
Is there anyone down here?
Wow, that's intense. All done on your phone too. That was pretty incredible.
Not bad at all, is it?
Not bad at all. And obviously, Jason's video talking about the global ghost hunt and what it means to him. Obviously, he's now changed from merchandise to haunted locations, but the video's already up, and the video did well on Facebook on global ghost hunt. I think it's almost at 1,200 views.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's done extremely well. And obviously the new Global Ghost Hunt promotional video that is now out and will be up on YouTube channel soon, along with everybody else's videos that will be coming up over the next couple of weeks. So a lot going on, and it's getting closer and closer.
It is.
Right?
It is
4.5 months away, 4.5 months away. And, it's going to come fast. It's going to come fast. And then right after that, we got to get right back to work because we're going to be starting October's.
Yeah.
Wait for October.
So it's going to be a quick turnaround. And hopefully with the first one being hopefully very successful, a lot more people will be interested in coming out of the second one, because I sometimes find, and this is just me personally, and I've heard from a couple of people about this, they want to see what happens with the first one before they, then they'll sign up for the second one, which is fine. It's their prerogative. And, but why not be in the first one? The first ever.
Make it special.
Why not be in the first ever global ghost hunt? Like, that is going to, and I know a lot of people are seeing it, but I think in some respects it's going to be like making history, because it is going to be everywhere and everybody's going to see it. And, and what we're doing for the teams and the, the locations has not been done before in this kind of type of, group event. And it's just completely different. And hopefully we will all look back in this in 5 years and go, do you remember the first one?
You remember when
because and I hate to say this to I hate to say this, people. Well, I don't hate to say this, but guess what, people? In 3 or 4 years' time, there could be it could be 4 times a year.
Could you imagine?
4 times a year. So that's what we're hoping for. And that's I didn't realize that, Raymond. There you go. Cool. So, and obviously,
I thought I said porno there for a second. I'm like, wait, what? What's he doing?
And Adriana's and she's part of it too. She is actually a volunteer as well. And but it's going to be a lot of fun. So back to you, Mr. Graham. Lex, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I want to dive into a little history of yourself, and I want you to think back to the places you've investigated. And have you got a favorite?
Favorite place I've investigated? Oh man.
It's always a tough question.
I love the Acadia Ranch Museum. I absolutely love that place out in Oracle.
And here goes Lex. See what Lex is doing right now? He's typing. He's looking up now. That's what Lex does. I've discovered over the last year the little things Lex is doing because he's researching. I never caught on until probably about 4 months ago. But
I keep a record. So every time a guest tells me somewhere I haven't seen, I save the page.
Oh, I did not know that.
In case I end up in the States. So I've got it's like an encyclopedia of places to go.
Yeah, it's not a big place.
Yes,
it's
and
only
that's
like
good.
3,000 or 4,000.
And that's
square
good.
feet.
Yeah, and that's good, Lex. But if you went to Parapo's network, the app, you would see all the haunted locations in the states that are up there now. Just saying.
I'm terrible on all my apps. The only one I'm really good on is Twitter. I'm terrible on Facebook.
I had to throw that, silly little plug in.
And
there,
this is good because it also means
there he goes.
I can also see what place he's talking about, and it might generate another question. Yeah.
I know that too, and I was going to say that as well.
Because I'm also thinking about that last question. You see?
Yeah, because he's thinking about the last question, Jason. So that's why he does all this little.
Is that what it is?
Looking up. So not only is he a host, but he's also a producer,
a fact
researcher, fact checker, and
who was on here before.
And on top of that, his side job is McDonald's.
Yeah, there was someone we had on the show a while ago.
And yes, I would like fries with that, buddy.
No, it's coming. Don't worry. There was Yeah, we had someone on here a while ago that was like just shooting names, dates, and events about these places to us. And I just got the idea. I was like, I'm going to start Googling them and looking into it because I don't want someone coming on here and saying something happened somewhere that didn't happen. So I always look into it. So don't feel pressured to continue your story of your favorite place while I'm looking at it, by the way.
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Why is it your favorite place, Jason?
There's just so much history in it. It was the first active sheep ranch in Arizona. So before Arizona was a state, it was an active sheep ranch. It was part of Wild Bill's territory. It was a TB sanatorium.
Oh, wow.
It was, after that, it was a private residence, but it's a smaller area, probably about 4,000 square feet, but it's got so much activity in it. It's almost impossible to turn around without something happening. It's just really cool. It's an amazing place. It's actually the only place I've ever been scared on an investigation too.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's funny you say that. That leads up to my next question. What has been one of your scariest moments or place to visit or to investigate?
Yeah, definitely. I went there Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, and so being a ranch, it has a tack house. For those of you who don't know, a tack house is where they take care of the saddles, shoeing the horses, all that. One of the hands that worked there, he would kill the local kids behind the tack house.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
And so when I would get there, John, the guy that runs the place, he would unlock everything, but he would leave the padlocks in the door on the outside so that I can just come in and take the padlock off, go in. Now, this place has no electricity in it. It was built in the probably about 1880, somewhere around there. No electricity at all. There's no lights, no nothing in this building. I walk out there, and of course, at this point, I was doing it by myself. And
oh, that story was so good he had to leave.
I know.
He wanted to go back. He wants to go back there. He's going back there today.
I do have a fun question for him about this place.
Yeah. So the internet apparently is very bad in Arizona right now.
About that. So sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
So I take the padlock off this door, and as I'm taking it off, you can hear something. There's two rooms in this place, and there's a chain that kind of blocks one side of it. You're not allowed into this back room. I don't know why they don't have it. They've never given me a reason. But as I take the padlock off and open the door, I can hear the chain come down, and I can hear something running across the floor at me. And I just shut that door, locked it back up, and hauled butt right back up to the main house. It freaked me out.
Wow.
That's the only time I've ever been scared on an investigation. It freaked me out.
Ugh. Have you seen anything about Zach Baggins and his crew go in there?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the stuff they found there yet?
Yes.
How much of it do you believe from them?
None. From what they've had, none. No. So I can tell you who haunts the place. And there's no malevolence there at all. It's except for whatever's in that tack house. In the main house, it's a nurse that used to work there when it was a TB hospital. There's a guy that I can't remember his name for the life of me. They call him Friendly Fred or Friendly Harry or something like that. He stays in the morgue. And then when it was a residence, there was a kid that shot himself in the face with his dad's .38 on Friday the 13th back in May of like 43 or something like that. Those are the three spirits that haunt the house. The guy that haunts the morgue loves women. He will never harm anybody. The nurse will actually sit down and have conversations with you, which is why I love my task cam so much, because you can sit there and listen to her for a long time. And the kid will just try to hold your hand. There is no malevolence in that building at all.
Can I ask, what did they claim to find?
Everything there's evil. It's all evil. I watched that episode a long time ago. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember watching it going, what a load of crap.
I just had to ask because it's the first.
So what did they claim? What did they claim they found there?
Demons.
Yeah, it's always demons with him, but it's there's no malevolence in that place. Like I said, the tack room, there's definitely something that doesn't want you in there, but
Doesn't
It actually
necessarily
pushed one of
mean
our
it's-
investigators over one night when me and
doesn't necessarily mean it's malevolent, though. It just doesn't want you in there, right?
If you would like to watch that episode, it is
No, thank you.
season 19, episode 17, when they go there to fake another video, if you're interested in watching it.
Okay, great. So if there's anybody in our room right now that is watching us, please leave because we don't want you here because you watch fake videos. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
Courtney,
kidding.
you are absolutely right with that comment. Arsehole spirits do not mean demon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It means they're an arsehole, like they probably were in real life.
Yep.
When they were alive, and now they're assholes. It kind of happens. I hate the word demon nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Wouldn't that be awesome if there was a McDonald's drive-through that was haunted?
I'd be there all the time, working. I'd be doing. I'd be serving fries with an SB7 in one hand. There we are. Did he order? I'd be asking them. Did they order?
Take the order for the SB11.
No, you walk up to you're driving up to the drive-through, and instead of a McDonald's person coming through, it's a spirit. Just saying, get out.
Just a ghostly hand with a bag.
First thing it says is "get out."
Get out, bitch! Oh, cheers! Thanks for my food.
Oh God, that would be
this
hilarious.
McDonald's joke is never going to leave me alone, is it?
No, it's not. It's and you know what? We're going to have the patrol on soon, and we'll have a good laugh about that. Yes, the patrol are coming on soon.
I'm so glad they've got back on it as well. Like,
oh my God, it's about friggin' time.
So I was like,
back.
yes,
yeah.
They're coming back. So
well, you know what? They already know that I'm coming possibly in September. So, I am coming in September. But they're looking forward to being out with us again and trying to get onto a lot more investigations. I think they only did 2 with us, right? Was it 2?
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was, yeah. So I'm glad they're back together, but they're going to be on the show soon as well. And I love this. See this one see, this is why it's never going to disappear. Wow. Don't treat Raymond like that. Raymond was an awesome guest.
I'm respectful.
By the way, Raymond, look at that.
You, Raymond.
It's like one of those.
Love you, Raymond.
Oh God, it's never. This is been one of those shows where everything's funny. So, you ready? You ready, Jason? You ready for the big question, man? Hey, listen, Jason. This is the moment of the show where everybody's waiting for Lex on what kind of story he's going to tell to ask you this question. Everybody looks forward to this. I know if Matt was watching right now, he'd have his notebook out.
Oh, because he'd copy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know if every time I do this, if the people in the chat try and do it too and figure out what I'm going to say before I say it.
Yeah, that'd be that.
Because I have to it's really hard to come up with this question every week because I obviously have to listen to everybody. I've got to do my job. Listen to what they're saying. I'm kidding, but we've got I think it's a good one this time around. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's have a look. So, imagine this, right? I don't know why I say that every time I do this. Imagine this, right?
It's okay.
It's cool.
It's okay when a British person says it. When a Canadian or American says it, it just doesn't.
It sounds cocky when we say it.
Yeah, it does sound cocky when we say it. Good.
I sound like a doctorate in something. I was like, so.
Okay, let's take it down a notch. Let's move on.
Consult my note. Just taking Matt's notebook. So.
Oh, there you go.
Right. So
that was nice of Raymond.
Let me know when you're coming over, Lex. I'll put the kettle on. Good lad. Right. Let's get to it. So imagine this, right? You are sat in front of that chained door at the Arcadia Sanatorium. And there's no spirit in there this time. We've put the whole Ghost Adventures crew in there just for ruining that place. Zach's banging on the door. He's banging. And we're just not going to let him out. That's not part of the question. I'm just letting that in. That's what we're doing. We're going to leave him in there. In the meantime, though, while you're hearing that chain rattle as he goes nuts in there because we've left him with the bad demon, you hear a phone ring. And all of a sudden, your brain goes back to that moment when you were 4 years old and you're like, I don't want to answer this phone. So you answer the phone, because why wouldn't you in a haunted place? And instead of hearing a ghostly phone person scare the shit out of you, you actually hear the lovely calming voice of me and Bryan somewhere laughing in the background. Bryan's probably counting at this point. And what you hear is the most important thing you're ever going to hear is I say to you, I will give you all this money in the world if you leave that sanatorium now with Zach Baggins and his crew stuck with the malevolent downstairs. And I'll give you all the money in the world to do so. And you have to spend it on one investigation. Where would you go?
Oh, man. I used to say England all the time because of the castles and the history there. But somebody had mentioned Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that would be awesome. Yeah, I would have to go check out the pyramids.
Oh,
that would be an amazing place.
Not bad. You'd have to check out the City of the Dead as well.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where I mentioned that a year ago or something like that. The City of the Dead is right outside of Cairo.
Yeah, right up.
And for people that are in the room that don't know anything about the City of the Dead is probably one of the creepiest places in the world. It has 1 million people living in this little city, and they all live in tombs.
That's just crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. And and guess what, people? The dead people are still in the tombs.
They're still there.
They're still there.
Would be a nightmare if the house has got damp, wouldn't it?
Oh, I can't even imagine what the smell would be.
That would stink.
Oh my God.
You burst a pipe in there. It's like, oh shit.
Well, speaking of that word, I don't even know where do you go to the bathroom? In the floor? Like, do you dig a hole in the floor?
Well, I think Egypt's come a long way since.
No, there's all the floor. No, all the floors are still sand.
Yeah, I think it would just absorb right in, man. It'd be like a big old kitty litter box. I think you'd be fine.
A kitty litter box, and then they start scratching, right? Scratching for a place to crap.
Yeah. It's self-serving. It's perfect.
Yeah. All right, Courtney, I've seen your comment there. If you are in the show next week, you need to guess what the question is going to be before I say it, and we'll see if you get it right.
There you go.
If I steal your question, I will commend you for it.
I was just going to say, and you know, she just responded with this comment. That's
but
yeah, I think you know what, we don't get that enough, and I've recently I've heard a lot more people say that about the pyramids. Were they made by creatures from a different planet? Because that's a lot of speculation about that.
Yes.
You know, UFOs, aliens actually made the pyramids, not actual people. Which you wonder why here.
Man.
Why not here?
And I knew you were going to fucking say that. I knew you were going to say that.
I'll tell you why they did it here.
Okay.
Because we are in one corner of a certain part of space, and there's going to be a planet somewhere out there completely adjacent to us, like flat line level, where there'll be another one. And that's how they create. It's using pyramid to pyramid, and they've got it's going to be some sort of technology they've got, and that's how they space travel.
Okay, so he's ruined this for me. I'm going to change it to New Mexico, buddy. Lex is totally ruined.
Unfortunately, no. New Mexico is off the list.
Totally.
Too many people say it, so
it's right next door to me, and I won't go. I'll go for the bats. That's about it.
You know, there's another place I'd love to go, and it's out on an island right off Mexico. The Dolls. The island of what's it called? The island of the Dolls or something like that.
Yeah,
that's one place I'd love to go to.
I'd love to go check out Rome, the Colosseum. I mean, all the death there.
What is the actual name of that island?
I think it's
something.
I think they just call it the Isle of the Dead.
Or Island of
Dolls. Of Dead Dolls.
What's that?
It's called the Island of Dolls.
Yes.
It's one of the main attractions of the area, or its full name. It's got two, so it's Island of the Dead Dolls, and then it's the Island of the Dolls.
Well, you're not allowed on the island. First things first. Because it's covered in snakes. And stupid, ugly dolls. Why anybody...
They believe the dolls helped chase away the spirit of a girl who drowned around there.
Yeah. But supposedly it's covered with snakes. What's his name? Nightmare Project. He went there.
No, you can go there.
Can you?
Yeah, there's a guy. You can go to this dude. There's a dude that takes you there.
Yeah.
So Brian,
well, from what I understand, you're not.
You're talking him down on the show.
I guess in order to go there, you have to be with somebody that maybe two or something. You can't go on there. You can't go there on your own. Something along that lines. But long story short, the guys from Nightmare Project went there and they got taken off the island by pirates.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, well, if we ever go, we're going with a large group of us.
It was a group of pirates with very large guns, as Dom was telling me.
Wow,
it's not something you would say no to.
That.
So,
yeah, that would depend, Brian. I'd say no.
Well, you know, I
believe in spirits, mate. You can't kill me.
Yeah,
you just kill the flesh.
What? Like Dom was telling me that they originally thought they were police.
Oh.
Until they took all their stuff. And told them get off the boat, and then they drove away.
Jeez.
Really?
So they thought their lives were over at this point.
Oh, that'd be a little terrifying.
Yeah, so it was kind of scary. But anyways, that was the story that Dom told me. If you haven't heard of the Nightmare Project, take a look at them. And if you're a Paraflix subscriber, go over and check out some of their videos. They're really good. So our next segment, Jason, you going to stick around to give your 2 cents or what?
I'll be here.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
If people are new to the room and you're unsure what we're talking about, here you go.
Right then, guys. So fakers, we're back this week, and I have.
Wait a minute! Before you say that,
before
you say that, let me do this. I got you. There we go.
Oh yeah. So what?
It's official.
It doesn't look quite good there because it says fakers, and then it says Bryan-jon and Lex Paranormal.
Okay, so then I'll do this then. How about this? And I'll take down that. There you go.
That works.
There we go.
Because I know we don't fake anything. But right, so if you haven't seen this segment before, we're going to talk about another channel today that, you know what, I'm convinced this channel is faking it. And this is what we're going to talk about in a minute and how they're doing it. And it's a shame to be talking about this group because I really like them. I've liked them for a little while, so it's a bit of a shame that they have to be mentioned. But before I mention the team name, this is and this is more for an educational purpose. I don't want anyone going to these channels and being rude or attacking them. That's the last thing I want people to do. I watch this channel still because I find them entertaining, but now I don't believe their evidence is real. So I just want to tell you what I would know and what I see. So if you watch these videos too, that you also learn what you're consuming. I don't want you buying products of sort of people you think are doing the real stuff when they're not. So that being said, the group we're talking about today, and I never thought I'd say them on here, it's Twin Paranormal. If anyone has heard of them.
I'm not getting anything.
Anyone heard?
Yeah, I did. I heard you.
You heard me, yeah? So the group we're talking about today, Twin Paranormal, and it's not cut and dry. I'll start off with that one. But I want to start off by saying, one, their videos are really good in terms of the way they produce their videos, the way they talk to people, the way they conduct themselves in investigations. A lot of these investigators could learn a lot from these guys on the way that they talk in these investigations, the way they talk to spirits. And I do think they get a lot of real evidence, by the way, I'll say that. But I do think they embellish a lot. And the reason I say that is the level of activity they get in every single location they go to. They're not going to places and not getting anything and not putting a video up and saying on Twitter, oh, we didn't put a video up this week because we didn't get anything. They're not doing that. They're uploading a lot of videos very quickly. And they seem to be getting something all the time. And there was a couple of videos I watched this week of theirs. And one of them, this is my favorite bit that I found that shows that they embellish videos. It's like a blanket cover that falls off of something as they walk past it. So can you tell me what knocks it off? If they walk past
their videos.
So that they walked past it, and that's what knocks it off.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
They do this thing, so they after it falls off, they pick it up, put it back on, and they're jumping around it, and it's not moving. But they haven't put it back on the same way that it was on there before. They've obviously they've put it on there, folded up at the top, so it's weighted down. So now if they brush it, it's not going to fall off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it if I didn't think this, guys. The other thing that happens is, I believe it's Wyatt in the video. As he walks past it, for no reason, he looks at it before it falls off, as if he knew it was going to.
Oh.
Which is another tell that maybe he was the one that was supposed to knock it off, and I think it's him looking to make sure he did it. So he looks round at it before it falls off. So that's the first one that is questionable. The second one is an older video of theirs. I watched this one a while ago, and I rewatched it recently. They do this weird thing. You can tell by the way people move stuff in locations that they're trying to cover something up, or they're going to magically find something. Omar's really good at doing this. Jasko does it all the time when he magically finds stuff on a trail that he obviously put there earlier. It just happens to be in the right spot to get this mind-blowing red T-shirt or whatever they find. But Twin Paranormal are guilty of it too. They did a video before where they're outside, and one of the brothers, I think it's River, puts his rucksack on the floor, right? Leaves it there. But that's innocent enough. They're doing other bits while it's there. But the amount of attention they bring to the bag is what makes it fishy in the video. He's constantly, when they're going to leave the area, they're constantly touching the bag. He's like, oh, I should move my bag from here if we're going to go that way. It's 5 steps. They don't need to move the bag. Oh, we should move the bag. And as he's saying that, he's dragging the bag towards him, not lifting it off the floor like you would. He's pulling it like this. Every time he talks about the bag, he's moving it forwards closer to him, but he doesn't need to. He could just lift the thing up and go. And what he's doing there, if you watch the video, is he is moving it to the right place, because when he put his bag down earlier, because it was dark, he couldn't see where he was supposed to have put it. And magically, when he lifts up the bag, again, he pulls it down towards him and then lifts up. It moves the hay or straw that was on the floor, and there happens to be a pentagram right under his bag.
Okay.
Now, is that coincidence? Is that really good coincidence that lands on a paranormal investigator? And we've all done investigations. We're not that lucky in these locations.
No.
Very rarely are we that lucky. But yeah, pull a pentagram out of your ass under your bag.
Some bag and shit.
Yeah, so... And this is what I wanted to let people know when they're watching their videos. I still think they get a lot of real stuff. There is some things I've seen. I've watched them on debunking channels. I've seen debunking channels try and get them before, because they do good videos. They're really entertaining to watch. And like I said, the way they conduct themselves in investigations, I wish more people did it their way, the way they do it, the way they talk. They're so respectful. And I do think a lot of the time they get stuff. They're old school. They use bells. They have like bells on strings across doorways with cameras on around the whole thing, so you can see that no one's there in the corridor. Cool. It's really well done. I just think that because they are growing, they grew very quickly. I think they had their first 2 videos, or their first batch of videos. They did a good couple hundred views, maybe up to 500 views, and then they got featured on Nuke's Top 5. And within 2 months, they were on 170,000 subscribers. So obviously that comes with pressure to keep it up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they're now doing this, is they've got to keep up with the current YouTube trend for paranormal fake YouTubers. They've got to keep themselves elevated and relevant. And That's where this comes in. So it's a shame because, like I said, I think they're all really nice guys. They do generally seem to care. Like they do a series where they help families, and I don't think they're doing it there. I'll make that clear. In the episodes where they're helping these families, I don't think they're doing it. It's when they're doing their everything else, all their other investigations. I think they're embellishing stuff. But because some of the stories for the families are really hard hitting, some of them are hard to like listen to, because the story, like the family is telling them about the relative or something in their house, and they think it could be a relative. The stories are quite personal, so I don't think they don't seem like the type to exploit that. Which is why I think they've split it into 2 different series on their channel. So they have this one helping the family, and this one paranormal
ratings.
Yeah, and that's how I think they're doing it. Which is why definitely the channel, I would say I wouldn't write them off. I wouldn't go out there and bash them for doing so. I would just be careful with the content they're putting out. If you believe them before, just go into it with a bit more of an open mind of what they might be doing. Cheers, Sean. Just be open-minded and just watch out. You can always spot these tells of when they do stuff. Because like I said, in the videos where they're helping people, they're not doing stuff like this. They're not doing weird movements. In most of the time, they're sat in one room, just sat there with equipment out, and they're talking to each other. Like at one point, they went out for food, and there's a video on they had a video on like Instagram or something of them live in the McDonald's. So none of them are in the house, and then they show you the timestamp of the live camera feed at the house, and something happens in the house, like something beeps or whatever, devices go off. So I think they're one of these rare groups that's really down the middle, because I think morally they know they can't be faking it with families, but I think they realize that to keep up with how fake YouTube is, they need to push it. So I would just just be careful with that group. Again, don't send them any hate. I really like them. I remember when we started doing the show, I wanted to get them on here because I genuinely believed everything they did was real. And now I'm definitely like 60-40 that they're embellishing. Maybe 65-35 that they're embellishing. I wouldn't say that they're in the same boat as Mosaji. They're definitely not as bad as that. They're nowhere near as in the bad leagues as Hunt, especially Jody Dean. He's not up there. Like I said, these guys are respectful. They're not sitting on people's graves.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but it is sad to see that they've been doing this for I think it's 2-3 years now, getting quite popular, and it's taken that amount of time to resort to this side of it, which is a bit of a shame. But that's my faker segment for this week, guys.
There you go. Well, Jason, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today. It was a lot of fun. And one thing I will thank you, because sometimes I've seen other people, when they lose the feed, they go off. It takes them forever to come back on. You come right back on. That was great. That was awesome. That was awesome. You come right back. So,
unfortunately, it was like 4 times. So.
Right back. So, but I want to thank you for coming on today's show. It's been a real pleasure. We never really got to talk about Global Ghost Hunt. We'll bring you on later again down the road, maybe after the first event, and we'll talk about that, and maybe talk about the Paracon that you're going to be at during the Global Ghost Hunt. Hopefully, we'll be able to show some of that through the Global Ghost Hunt weekend, the first weekend. So we'll definitely bring you back up in probably June if you're able. And then we'll talk more, and we'll talk about global. We'll talk about everything, some other stuff as well. There's some other stuff I wanted to get to, but we didn't end up getting to it today. But again, thank you for coming on the show. I'm going to say my goodbyes. So have a great rest of the day, okay?
Hey, thank you.
That's all right. Thank you very much, buddy. It was great to meet you, finally.
Great to meet you, too.
Yeah, I look forward to having you back on here, and I wish you all the best in the future endeavors between now and then, and obviously with the upcoming adventure of our ghost hunt. So take care, my friend.
Yeah, take care.
Wow, what a great show. Great guy. There was so much more I wanted to talk about, especially Global Ghost Hunt and stuff like that, but we'll do that next time. And I think, when Jason came to me with that idea about doing the Paracon over the weekend, I thought it was great. And it's just another thing to add to the Global Ghost Hunt on the first weekend. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Me and Jason will work that out and see what we can do. And but I'm sure we'll be able to put it up there. And what a great idea, though. I never even thought about, maybe having somebody coming through that is doing a Paracon and just walking through a Paracon, and it's good that it happens to be coming up at this place, which is great. But so that's it, buddy. End of show. It's always a disappointment. It's always a disappointment when the show's over. I don't like it. I could go on and on and on and just talk about everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we have we have 2 great guests next week. We have Rootless Destination next week. And then the following weekend, we have GSI. And there was another group that we're going to be having up that I think is going to be on the following weekend. And so we're booked up for the next few weeks. Other than that, I want to thank everybody that came to today's show. We had a lot of comments. We had a lot of people in the room today, and it was a lot of fun getting to talk to Jason. But we'll definitely see you next week. I want everybody to have a great rest of the week, and I'm saying my goodbyes. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thank you. It's good to be back. Hope you don't miss me too much. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, if you have another video or channel that you'd like me to look at for the Faker segment, hit me up on Twitter at Lex Paranormal YT. Head over to our YouTube channel, Through the Lens of Bryan and Lex, and hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to Huntophobia, subscribe to Lex Paranormal, and subscribe to SouthWest-ParaAbnormal. There we go. I got it right.
Yeah. You know what?
I
also forgot to mention during the show, his links are in the description below. So there's definitely a lot of spots you can follow him. But again, everyone, good night and have a great week.
Stay safe. Stay spooky.